Now, I'd really been building my physical gold and silver position for quite some time because I came to ITM in 2002 after the formulas had confirmed that we were at the end of this experiment, because I've been studying currency life cycles since 87. And there are always these repeatable patterns that we see every time. So I already had my foundation of gold and silver. I would say you want to get your gold and silver foundation so that you have good money, but you need the rest. You need food, water, energy security, as well as anything physical or any skill sets that you have are barterable. Wealth preservation, and a lot of that can be accomplished through community, because we are running out of time. We don't have that. I don't believe we have another 10 years or 5 years, to be honest with you. We also have to remember that we vote with our wallets and our purses. So if you keep all of your wealth inside of the system, that the fiat money system, then you're voting for more of the same. If you pull your wealth out and you put it into good money and all the other things that we've been talking about, that's your vote. So we need roughly 3% of the population to vote this way. The last stat that I saw was in the US, 16% of the population, of the adult population, had in some way, shape, or form encountered cryptocurrencies. That's adoption. That is a high enough level to adopt the new CBDC. And think about all of the money that went into those cryptocurrencies and are still there or not, as it be. All of that, because it's the same mentality, right? They're trying to get out of the system. They're trying to get out of harm's way. How much of that wealth would have gone into physical gold that is outside of the system, that runs no counterparty risk and is actually invisible to central bankers? So, they know how to make these transitions by keeping things looking as normal as possible. If you really want to fight what's happening, you don't have to go to the streets. Just buy physical silver and gold. Pull your wealth out of their system. Don't make it easy to rob you, because a rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency. So people get caught up in numbers. That's nominal confusion, right? Which is about perception management. They can manage how you perceive things, then they can manage how you move forward. So we know really, since the beginning of this grand experiment, the price of gold and the price of silver has been suppressed. But the way that it works is like a spring, right? So if you keep your hand on a spring and then you remove your hand, it shoots in a direction. Yes, they have been manipulating and suppressing the price and encouraging other things, right? Encouraging cryptocurrencies, creating a very, very fertile soil to develop that, until they came out and said, basically, there was a recent report from the International Monetary Fund. Basically, private cryptocurrencies, bad. Central bank cryptocurrencies, good. And the way that they're going to pitch it, and they've said this, so these are not my words, these are theirs, that, we are definitely in an inflationary environment and headed into a hyperinflationary environment. I think that's already started. If we think, well, you're over there and we're over here, guess what? This is a very small world. We're all in it together. We're all going through the same thing. It isn't different this time. And I would, look, you want to be protected from hyperinflation or hyperdeflation? Own gold and silver. That's it. That's what's going to protect you. And why? Because they have the broadest base of functionality. Both of them, the qualities that gold and silver possess has never been able to be duplicated in a lab. So they are used in every single sector of the global economy. Well, guess what? If you have the broadest base of function and therefore the broadest base of buyer, and you're going into a currency collapse, look, over time, demand has gone up, demand has gone down. But if you have the broadest base of buyer, you can't go to zero because there's always a buyer for these assets. Physical, anything physical, there's a finite amount. Unlike anything digital, where easy to be an unlimited amount. That's a button push with very minimum effort. This takes time, effort, energy to pull it out of the ground, mine it, and have it functioning in all different areas of the global economy. This is a Ponzi scheme, right? And so Ponzi schemes require confidence. And we've been watching the layers of confidence bank to bank with interbank lending in 2008, central bank to central bank in 2015 with the Swiss surprise. Last August, market to bank, when they gave up forward guidance. There's only one piece of confidence left, and that's public confidence. And they know that. You know, when they created this system, they knew lots of things, but they knew two key things. Number one, people marry the legal money of the state. So if they can keep things looking as normal as possible, hence the importance of the adoption rate, well, okay, then they can make that transition and nobody realizes it until it's way too late if they ever even do realize it. So they want us to think that nothing has changed when in reality, everything has changed. But when the public loses confidence in the currency and the system, that's when we will have the hyperinflation. And ultimately, I mean, they will lop off zeros. They will reset the currency system globally. On average, that typically happens 3 times. But Venezuela is already on the 4th time. So maybe it'll be 4 or 5 times. Maybe it'll be 1 or 2 times. When the population ultimately loses confidence in this Ponzi scheme, then in order to get that confidence back, they put a component of gold in the new system. They won't do it until all of the debt is burned off and all of the wealth that can be transferred is transferred.